envision 3 female attorneys coming together to have our voices heard. Each of us would have different opinions, different passions, different backgrounds, and different views. Although we are different and unique, we are able to come together to discuss our experiences, navigating through the legal profession and this thing called life. Now, the vision has come alive, and we invite you each and every week to listen to us as we talk about what's trending in the news and our legal insight. Tackle real-life issues that affect not only us as attorneys, but us as women of color. Disclaimer. This podcast is intended to provide entertainment and general information. The information provided and the views given are not intended to constitute legal advice and should not be relied upon as legal representation. All views expressed on this podcast are our own and do not represent the opinions of any entity whatsoever we are affiliated with now or will be affiliated with in the future. Hey guys, it's your girl Brandy, and we're back. Before we get started, I gotta shout out my girls, have them introduce themselves. To my left.
Oh, me. Hi guys, it's Taria. How are y'all doing today?
And to my right.
Hey guys, this is Samantha.
Oh, we're Samantha today.
Yep, Sam Fresh.
Well, we're having a
haters.
So
come on, we have to stay on task.
We do. So stop fighting. So we had 2 special guests here today. We're going to be talking about insurance, the ins and outs and all the different insurance like car, auto, and life insurance. So to my left, I have my favorite agent, State Farm Agent. He's amazing. I had to bring him on the show. I want him to introduce himself. Go and tell everybody who you are.
I can have my own applause? Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, thank you. Oh, my God. Thank you. Ooh, I was getting worried up here. Okay. My name is Freddie Noble. I'm a State Farm agent. I've been in the insurance industry about 25 years. Been an independent business owner for 11.
Cool.
Right.
Wow.
And he's also a proud member of
Omega Psi Phi, the one and only.
It's my frat brother, y'all.
And then to my right, we have...
You ain't going to do Marcus like that, okay?
Oh, excuse me.
To my left, we have one of my favorite insurance agents. Can we get a round of applause? Y'all going to clap for Marcus. Taria.
Hello. I need some help with the applause. Let's try this again.
Okay.
Not my agent.
We are equal opportunity
we are
host.
State Farm.
We can't say employer because we don't employ y'all. Y'all
State
independent
Farm,
contractors. Okay, so introduce yourself.
Mr. Markus Tolson. Don't get me confused with the other guy. I'm the insurance guy from Houston, Texas, here to serve you.
Okay. You sound like a commercial.
I know.
I really like that.
Mr. Marcus. Everybody know who Mr. Marcus is.
Mr.
The other
Marcus.
one.
You got to stand out a little bit.
It reminds me of that restaurant, Mr. People's.
There
They
you go.
closed.
Close down.
Been closed. Okay, so let's get started. So we brought y'all on because, everybody has questions about insurance. Freddie, I call you all the time about insurance questions. So we're going to start with the very basic thing about the ins and outs of insurance. First, basic. So the first question everybody wants to know, do we need insurance?
Well, it's your state to tell you that you need insurance and your mortgage company. We have zero to do with that. Now, personally, I think it's okay to have insurance because what goes wrong will go. What goes right will go wrong. However, it's your state that requires you to have insurance. That's called liability. But I defer to Marcus.
No,
Mr. Marcus.
Yeah.
I'm not calling him Mr. Marcus. Okay, me and Marcus been knowing each other a good year. Hey, Marcus. Okay. Y'all can call him Mr. Marcus. Y'all do that for him. I'm going to look at y'all.
No, but I agree with you. I mean, but outside of even what you are required to have, I mean, if you want for the insurance company to pay for something when something happens, then you should have insurance, right? So that's just another way to look at it, because we always get questions like, well, I paid my car off. Do I still need full coverage? And we'll probably talk about that more in the show. But if you want your car to be paid off, then yes. If you want some money to buy a new car, if your car gets totaled, then you need it. So it's not just about what's required, but also just what do you want to happen in the event of a claim.
It's called risk transfer. You transfer the risk to someone else.
So then it's not an unnecessary expense. So, I mean, it's not like, an extra bill that I could, put on a bag that I'm trying to get, or, I'm trying to go to brunch on Sunday, fun day, turn up.
Right.
Like, it's not,
You don't want to be out there raw dogging, unprotected with insurance.
That phrase.
Right.
So we got Mr. Marcus and Raw Dog. Really? That's what we going with that?
With insurance.
That's what we going
Insurance.
I believe in being safe.
Right.
I'm safe all the way. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I
need
can
help today.
Stay
Anybody out there that
protected.
can help me.
I feel like I seen an insurance company called Magnum Insurance Services.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, we're still there.
Yeah.
We're still there.
However, we don't endorse unless you paying.
Right. Exactly.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Magnum.
Except for the General, because the General has Snoop Dogg, and they have like cool
They
commercials.
have Shaq.
Shaq.
Yeah.
Shaq
That's
is
what we're
on
gonna buy.
there.
That's what we're gonna buy.
Yeah.
Okay, that's gonna be the reason why we determine.
Yeah.
The General's
Why
a
else
great
would they pay all those people to be in them if it didn't work?
So then, let's go to the next thing. So what are the must? So basically, you done told me instead of me going to Sunday Fun Day brunch at Grace's, turning up, I'm gonna have to use some of that money on my insurance. So then, what are the insurances that I like a must have? Like I have to have.
If you're dealing with auto insurance, you gotta have liability, and you should buy uninsured motors. Okay. If you don't get uninsured motors here in Houston, you basically about to give your car away.
So what is uninsured motors like? What does that mean?
Them people that run the red light, because you sitting at the red light because you have insurance, and those are people who don't have insurance, and they will hit you.
So those people that don't have, but doesn't the state say I have to have they have to have insurance too?
Yeah, and we know people in these streets, don't we, Marcus? And they would buy a policy just to get that deck page, and they would go raw dogging.
Yes, that's right.
Brought
That's
it back
right.
in. Good job.
Yes.
Yeah, no. So
What about PIP and UM? What do those stand for?
So UM is the uninsured motorist coverage, right? And the PIP is personal injury protection. So, I think that you should have everything. But if somebody just has to take something off and they have health insurance, then I suggest that they take off the personal injury protection, because that pays for their medical bills and or lost wages for everybody that's in the vehicle.
And then the UIM is the underinsured. So
Yeah, that's
in
what I was
case
thinking about.
Someone doesn't. I'm sorry, I may or may not be in the same field of work. But if someone doesn't have enough, whoever hits you doesn't have enough insurance, then your insurance could kick in to cover whatever bills are left over.
What about the extra, like, unnecessary stuff they try to get you to buy? Like, what is that, roadside assistance? Like, should you use your roadside assistance on your insurance?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's a question of...
That's a
it's
weird silence.
It is, because at the end of the day, anytime that you call your insurance company and you want them to make a payment, it's a claim. So a lot of people don't realize that, because they're not going to tell you don't make a claim, because they can't. They can't say don't make a claim. But at the end of the day, I won't tell you not to make a claim either, but I'll tell you what will happen is that it will show up as a claim on your insurance, and your insurance will probably increase. Now, if you don't have very many claims, then hey, why not? But most of the time, I recommend that people just get AAA roadside assistance, to be honest, because when you make a claim on that, it's not going to show up on your car insurance.
Now, I have a question, because I got my car broken into, and I did not use my insurance to fix my car, because I just got my window fixed, but it still showed up as a claim.
Did you call into your insurance company?
I did, but then I told them, never mind, don't worry about it. I'm
okay.
not going to pay my deductible to get it fixed. I'll just pay for it out of pocket. So they can still put it on your...
Yep, it's going to show up as
On
a
your
zero.
report?
It'll show up as a claim, comprehensive or whatever it was that happened, and it'll show up as a $0 claim, but it's still a claim.
Which-
a claim is a
Oh,
claim.
my
And the reason why
gosh.
we're talking about these things is because we have an internal insurance score. Most
Okay.
people don't talk about it, but most companies have an internal insurance score. If you have a lot of claims, then it's going to mess with your score.
So what companies have internal insurance?
Most
for?
all the big ones.
Right.
All the big ones. They
So
go,
not the General, probably.
but the general's going to hit you
Or
with some
freeway.
fees. I mean, here's the thing about it. We're talking about a lot of people who are smart. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They know these numbers. So if I don't charge you in that, I might charge you an application fee.
Right.
I might charge you another fee. So the thing is, what you want to do is we want everybody to be comfortable in getting something they're comfortable with. And we don't, neither one of us, both of us have been around a while. We just want everybody to be covered. It don't matter what company.
Yeah.
But we like the people to get a real good company to make sure they're protected. So it just makes both of us look good. We both in the same space. And when insurance is bad, y'all don't like any of us.
That's true.
When my insurance goes up.
That's true.
But I think
so. What affects your insurance score though?
Well, your credit is one of the things. Now, most insurance companies, there are some that run your credit, but most insurance companies don't actually run your credit. But traditionally, the better your insurance or certain characteristics in your credit, the better your insurance score is and the lower your insurance cost. But then also what goes into your insurance score is the claims that you make. So if you have 5 roadside assistance claims just because you didn't know you had a rock chip claim where you're rolling through the car wash and they say, here, we'll fix your rock chip for free. And then you'll see a little $65 claim when, somebody down the street could have fixed it for $10 or $15. Like I said, not saying don't use your insurance. A lot of people are like, well, what do I pay insurance for? Well, for catastrophes, not for just nuisances. You want to use your insurance for major things. But pretty much making claims and your credit are the 2 things that affect your insurance score. But then also, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the length of time that you've been with your insurance company, with your current insurance company, also the coverages that you have. A lot of other insurance companies will reward you for properly protecting yourself and your liabilities, with the previous company.
Question: should you do the good driver thing that's on your car? Like, is that a good idea?
It doesn't fit everyone. It doesn't fit me because I'm in
Right.
them streets. I don't need anybody to know where I'm at. Okay? 'Cause it's a tracking device.
Okay.
I'm just being
That's
straight
good to
up.
know. It's
so
a tracking
so it's
device.
not for everyone.
Okay.
They have different characteristics that they're gonna look.
Right. So if you're
drive-
gonna kill somebody, probably shouldn't have it on.
well,
your
a lot of
thing.
Houston people, we drive kind of bad. We don't
Right.
believe in the missing the right turn.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn right no matter what. All right.
Okay.
And that app is gonna catch that sharp right turn when you're speeding.
Right.
And unfortunately, some of those apps catch out when you out late at night.
Oh.
So the
Okay.
late night creeps.
Yep.
All right.
Between 12 and 5, I think.
All right.
Yes.
So I'm gonna get one for my husband, but I ain't gonna have one.
I think it depends on the person and also the company, because some companies might only offer it for 3 months. So just be on your best behavior for these 3 months, and then you send it in, and then the discount is locked in. But pretty much, and then also depending on the company, the discount you might just keep the minimum discount. So you might start off with a 10% discount, and as long as you participate, you keep that, and then it could go up to 30% or 50% off. But some other companies will, if you drive, a whole lot, or you speeding and taking sharp corners and things of that nature, could then lower the discount and surcharge you. So it depends on how that actual program works.
It depends on the individual. I had one lady come to my office, and in 1 year she drove 600 miles. That discount's going to probably be real great for her because she doesn't go anywhere in a year.
What was she, 80? 75.
I think you're being age biased.
I'm not. I'm just saying
She
older
was- she
people
was
drive
over
better.
60. She
yeah,
was over
okay.
60.
That's right. Mhm.
She was going to church and the grocery
Yeah.
store.
Correct. In her grandson's house.
I know that you can get discounts I get discounts just by combining a ton of things, right?
Oh, I thought you were
renters.
gonna say just being Taria, you get discounts.
I do, but that's neither here nor there. But my agent really likes me. He's a
Okay.
great guy. Hey, David. Okay, so I think combining you can get discounts. But I was talking to one of my coworkers about insurance shopping, and I've been with State Farm now, I think 6-7 years at this point, and I was told that if I go shop for a different insurance carrier, that I might get a better deal. What are your thoughts on that?
It's just like dating. If you know someone that's been in a long, committed relationship, and for some reason they break up, and he's back on the market or she's back on the market, you're probably going to date them a little different versus someone who's dating someone consistently. Always, like every time I see that person, they're with another person. Well, that's insurance.
Yeah.
The longer you're with someone, we understand that you have a commitment. You like a commitment. So when I decide to offer you a price, I'm going to offer you a price to let you know I want to be committed to you. If you're always shopping around sometimes, they may not give you the best price.
Right.
I mean,
So-
you can't get a good price because there's other factors that go into it, as we just talked about earlier. But that is one thing. We talk about the longevity with a company. So when you get ready to go to another company and you've been with one company a long time, all the company's going to do try to get you. They're going to all court you very well. The question is who's going to court you longer to keep you at that same price as you continue to be in that relationship with them.
It's like being a divorcee.
Yep.
So yeah, don't be an insurance thought.
So what else?
That's a
So
good one.
All the
besides,
time, baby. I'm your insurance boyfriend. I'm doing this. I ain't cheating on you. Don't be
Trying to be
cheating
your
on me.
husband.
Right.
Nah.
You can't, I
Hey.
don't want to be a boyfriend, a girlfriend forever now. So
So
put a ring on
Hey,
it.
husband,
a ring
I'm about
on
to
it.
give up more than I want to give up. I'm divorcing here, okay? So I'm gonna say boyfriend then, all right? 'Cause it's an easy breakup.
Yeah.
Do you ever have to divorce a client? I know as lawyers, we divorce clients all the time. Do you, as insurance agents, ever have to let a client go? Like, hey, this is not good.
Yes, we both do. Because Marcus and I, we've been knowing each other for 10 years, and we both are very committed. And we will overcommit ourselves sometimes to people, and they take advantage of that.
Brandy, is Brandy one of those people?
No, she's not.
Oh, okay.
Brandy is awesome. Brandy only calls my cell phone when she really needs something
Which
on
is
insurance.
like once a week.
No, about once every 2 weeks. Okay, that's okay.
Right,
But she good
whatever.
with me. Some people will call you like, hey, I need to pay my bill. I'm like, you just called my cell phone. You know it's 9 o'clock. I'm out in these streets.
Right.
What I'm supposed to do about your bill? So,
Right.
Yeah, and on the other side too. Wait, what was the question?
Wow.
Do you
you
ever
divorce?
fire a client?
Yeah, so
He heard Houston
we do.
Street.
There's two ways. There's
You
two
be
ways.
out here in these streets too, apparently.
I was last night, so I just forgot. No, but so
Wow.
Do you divorce a Hold that thought.
What?
no, I got it. Okay,
just
listen.
thinking about what-
So there's two things. One is that the company might divorce the client for us, right?
Yeah.
You have a certain amount of claims. Like before, it used to be if you have 3 incidents, it could be 2 tickets and 1 accident, you're gone, right? But now with the insurance score, if you have really good credit or really good history, then you might have 5 accidents and not get dropped. Or you could have 1 and get dropped if your insurance score is really low, right? So it really just depends on that. But then also, I don't know if you've experienced this as well, Freddie, but I'll have people that like a huge client, and they never call me. Everything's fine. I remember one time I had a client, their homeowner's insurance was $15,000 a year. It went up to $20,000. I'm trying to call them, bring them in, tell them about discounts. They're like, oh, we already sent the check. Okay, cool, right? Where you got somebody that has renter's insurance paying $10 a month. And
Yes.
every month they calling in, what can y'all do to lower the bill?
That's me.
You know, et cetera, et cetera.
Why
So,
my renters went up to $15?
Yes.
She will call me about a $2 increase. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Great."
You
will.
ready to get rid of her? You can
No,
do it
He
No,
today.
I'm
can't.
not.
We've been
You can do it
rocking
today.
since 2014.
Do it today.
No.
I
Let me
will
see.
too.
Let
And
me
how do
see.
you pull people away? Because I will say I've been a committed USAA insurance person for a very long time, and Marcus is the evil person who told me to shop around and not just pay for the name. So, would you encourage people? I know Marcus would, but would you also say don't just stay with someone just because of the name, right? But what should you look for in an insurance company?
I never say the name. I would say the experience.
Okay.
So you need to understand how they may handle claims. Some companies
Right.
have real big names and they are terrible in claims.
Right.
So, but there's times I tell people, say, hey, I don't like what my company is doing to you. Go out there and get something else.
Yeah.
You're paying way too much for insurance. At the end of the day, I've been knowing Mark, listen, we're both in this business about caring about the people. And we really do about it. And sometimes we understand there's some factors that we probably just can't be together right now. But that don't mean we can't rebound and get back together later.
Right.
And I would say claims from the UIM standpoint, right? At the end of the day, I don't personally care with the bodily injury. I don't care. If I hit someone, do what you do with my company. I want to know my company is going to take care of me.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, how quickly are you going to fix my car? How quickly are you going to write my check when I'm at the hospital and I need all of that money? Are we going to have to go to lawsuits? Are we going to have to go to trials?
Right.
How does that work? I think that, to me, is what's most important. Again, I may or may not be in this industry, but that's what I look for when I'm deciding.
So I want to shift gears real quick. We've been talking about auto, which is great. Kind of briefly talked about renters insurance and home insurance, but let's talk about life insurance. So what about life insurance? I know if you are employed, a lot of companies provide life insurance with their company. I know Freddie and I have talked about getting life insurance outside of your company, and I want to, let's talk about that. One, do you feel like people need life insurance, or is GoFundMe the best way to go?
Go fund me.
That's our inside joke.
Oh, okay. Well, this is the outside
So
podcast.
basically,
wait a minute.
So either share the joke or move on.
Be quiet.
No, our running joke has always been, so when it comes to life insurance, I know y'all would see when people die, when Cousin Pookie,
Right.
Ray, somebody died.
Oh, Rebecca.
or Rebecca or even Maria. Somebody died.
It's inclusive.
And they saying, you see a pop-up GoFundMe page on social media.
Yeah.
Because they need to bury them.
That's right.
Did nobody have life insurance?
Right. Or they don't want to spend it on that.
Right.
So our running joke is
Right.
GoFundMe is not life insurance.
Right.
That's basically our
Don't
running
wait till
joke.
somebody died, then start a GoFundMe account.
page, yeah.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Just start it now.
Right. You better start a GoFundMe account and buy some life insurance with that money.
There you go. So that's
Yeah.
always been our running joke. So every time I would see a GoFundMe page because somebody trying to bury somebody, and I sent it to Freddie, and I was like, there they go. They ain't had no life insurance. So that's a running joke.
Brandy, if you die before me, I'm going to start a GoFundMe, whether you got life insurance or
I
not.
have life insurance. I do.
But we're not
I'ma
going to
start
use it
with-
on you.
No.
I mean, my mama got me covered too, though.
We're going to do
so-
that and sell fish plates.
We both.
Don't do that. And no T-shirts.
Yes. Airbrush only.
With her face in the clouds.
You
Yeah.
gotta get a t-shirt. You gotta get a t-shirt.
No.
Yes.
How y'all gonna have me dying first, though? I'm not claiming that.
I said
I'm
if. I said if.
Hey, I'm sorry. Let's go back to life insurance policies and the importance.
Okay.
Well, it's very important, but it's a love gift. If I can't make you love someone, if you don't want to love them and not leave something for them, that's on you. But at the end of the day, I do encourage. I lost my mom.
You
when I was
coming back for the
14.
relationship show, aren't you? You've been talking about relationships and love.
Yeah,
Just-
both of
that's
them
what our
coming back
business
to
is. I'm all about
relationship show.
relationships.
That's
Uh-oh.
what
We're
we
about
all
the
about.
people.
He Omega. He in these streets.
And
These
listen,
are words that he said
I
himself.
like you. I like you.
Okay.
I like
Tell
talking
me
to
more,
him.
Freddie, about this love and
Right.
you taking care of me.
So, yeah.
Freddie is selling more than insurance, okay?
Oh, J-Lo.
Freddie, do we have some stay-at-home insurance?
I'm out. Hey, I'm out.
Freddie is selling some more than insurance.
I think I'm out right now.
Lord.
Hey, I'm out.
Marcus is being petty over here, people.
Marcus, darling, stay on time.
That's why he's single, being petty.
He said he was out last night, though. That's
Okay.
Sorry, Freddie, you were talking about
You
your
want to
mother.
leave something
Yeah.
for your loved ones?
Oh no, for real. When I was 14, when I lost my mom, it was 5 of us. 21, 19. I was 14. We had 1 5, and that was 1 a month old.
Oh my goodness.
We had life insurance. She had life insurance at the job. We buried her. But 2 years later, we lost a house that she had just purchased a year in advance because she didn't update her own personal life policy.
Yeah.
So, and that's not, the thing is, I tell everyone, I do a homeowners class, I tell everyone, make sure you update your life insurance.
Yeah.
You know, that you're getting what you want to happen when you're not here.
Okay.
That's what life insurance is about. My kids already know, hey, I'm controlling. So when I die, they ain't gonna have no T-shirts. I'm gonna have a will. That's what we need to talk about.
Yes.
Because Brandon can't do it. But so we need to do this.
Yes.
And because I'm gonna control what's gonna happen with the money when I'm gone.
Are you going to create a trust within that will where your life insurance then passes to a trust?
Well, that's what I'm gonna get with the lawyers, and we're gonna talk about it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So let's
You
just
can
say
totally do that.
I can't do it. It's not because I don't know how. It's because my company won't allow me. Let's put that
Brandy,
out.
we
What
know
was
that.
Brandy? Brandy, what's that?
We know that.
She's trying to make sure the listeners know.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what
I
I'm
didn't. I didn't
It's
know.
not-
Brandy
it's
can
not
draft
like-
the will, guys.
Well, as long as Mr. Marcus knows,
Yeah.
that's all that matters here today, guys.
See, I like
Okay.
her. I like her. Now, at the end of the day, we can sell you car insurance. You may never get in a car accident. We can sell you home insurance. Nothing may ever happen to your home. Flood insurance doesn't happen to your home as well, right? But the one thing that's guaranteed to happen is that you pass away, right? So life insurance, you don't think so?
No.
You gonna live forever?
I'm a Christian. I live forever.
Oh, okay, okay.
Just not on earth.
Right, but I'm saying.
We talking about the earthly folks.
Yeah. That's
in
all
the
it said. Once you go to heaven, you leave some money for these people over here. You still living.
Right.
But yes, that's the only thing that we're guaranteed to sell you that you will actually for sure one day use, especially if it's a permanent life insurance policy. So super important, and especially in our communities, right?
Yes.
Life insurance is what I'm most passionate about, and it's because we're so far behind. If you think about it, and some people that don't look quite like us, when someone passes away, they're sad, right, for a little while. But just like his family lost the house, they paying off the house. They're
Right.
getting another house. They're starting this business. They're getting the restaurant. They're going to Harvard, right? What are we doing? We're going backwards a lot of times in our community, and it's mainly because of education. So it's great that you guys do stuff like this, so that so that the people know what we need to do. But if we get life insurance, we leave money so that Junior can go to college, and so that we can pay off the house, and so that we can pay off the cars. It's not just money just to blow off and go be with somebody else. It's to take care of things that we need to take care of.
But there are two types of life insurance policies, right? There's term life insurance, and what's the other
We
one?
call it permanent life.
Permanent life. And what is the difference between those two policies?
Term is just for a period of time. There's a period of time you might have more risk. Term is a lot more less expensive.
Yeah.
But you have there's a risk that you have.
Right.
You know, you might be 29 and to the age of 59, you have your most risk. That's when the kids are coming. And the wife might need more protection. You need more term. So you buy insurance for that term, that 30 years, 20 years, or 10 years.
Okay.
So what happens if the term is up? Like, so do you get them? Like, say for instance, they're 60 now, so the term is over or whatever.
It depends which term. They have two type of terms, but if it's a regular term, that policy is going to go up to a 60-year-old. It's going to cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
So, cause that we will only cover you for that period of time. Once you turn 60, hey, it's a new game.
Right.
But I'll let Marcus talk about the permanent insurance.
Yeah, well, and it's just to add on to the term, whenever the term ends, let's say you get it when you're 30 and it's a 30-year term. So then it's expiring, but it can renew. It'll automatically renew, but it'll be about 10 or 15 times the cost. And
At the minimum.
At the minimum. And the reason is because they're not doing any underwriting. They're assuming that you're sick, you're about to die. So it's like the cost of it just goes super high, right? Or you can apply to get another life insurance policy at that point in time, and you do testing and underwriting again, but now you're 30 years older. So number one is that the cost is going to be more because you're a lot older. And number two, you might not be able to get it because maybe you have some illnesses that aren't covered, or those will just cost you even more. So that kind of leads us into why it's so important to have life insurance outside of work, because you're going to retire one day and you're still going to need life insurance. You might change jobs and you're still going to need life insurance, right? So that's why it's important to have life insurance outside
And
of
the
work.
main
Talk about
thing-
testing real quick.
Okay.
So I know that there's a certain amount. Once you get a certain amount of life insurance, you decide. I think mine was like 100 or 120. You have to go through testing, and then if you pass the test, the underwriters decide, then you're able to get a certain amount. Is that how that works?
Well, the testing is more so to determine how healthy you are, basically, right? So the more healthy you are, the less the insurance will be. And then if you're not so healthy, then it could be more expensive, and or they could decline your coverage.
Right.
Yeah, and the reason why, it's a business. So they like, hey, if it's a term policy, they're going to take, we know 1,000 people, we already know that only a small percentage of those people are going to die. We know most people are going to live. Now, once a permanent life insurance, that's why they charge a lot more, because besides you, everyone else is going to pass away and not be here, okay?
Right.
So they know they're going to have to make a bigger payment. Well, no matter how much you think you put in, they're paying out more.
Okay.
And so it's a business.
So which one is better than permanent or term, or it just depends on you?
It
I
depends
say
on the
all.
budget.
'Cause
Yeah.
First
Just
thing,
having
get
some.
something.
Right.
Okay.
And then get education. That's why the thing is, when you get a life insurance policy, it's not a one-time thing. You want to come back and continue to get education on it, because what you thought then, because we all think what we know at that time. As you get older, things change. Okay.
And you could take life insurance policies out on other people, correct?
If they sign for them,
Right.
Correct.
Keyword: sign for them.
yes, they must sign.
Yeah. Right.
With my company, I know for sure.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's what
And
they're
they need to be awake when they're signing, right?
Correct.
So they be
But
coherent.
most life insurance also have a 2-year clause. So if a person passes away within 2 years,
Right.
they can go back and do underwriting. They can go back and check everything, everything.
just to make
Well-
sure you didn't already have whatever it was, and etc.
Well, I have like a horror story. So I was drafting a will for a person who passed away, and they tried to change their beneficiary at the last minute, and they had like a $1.5 million insurance policy. And she named her mom first, and then she was trying to change it for the benefit of her children. So like hold it in trust and change it to the benefit of her children. Long story short, she was able to sign enough to change the beneficiary, but come to find out, long story short, is that they did not honor her change, because they said that it was within a short window, like she did it with like when she was in hospice. So they did not honor the change, and so it went $1.5 million went to her mother instead of her children.
Could have been like it's more like you're under duress, so they don't think you're in your right facilities.
Right.
So that's why they probably did not honor that. The
Right.
courts probably didn't, because if like you're drunk and you come get a policy on me
Right.
right now, they probably wouldn't keep that right now because I wasn't in my right mind.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
So
makes sense. That makes sense.
So what do you see as like in your profession? Like, what are the mistakes people are making regarding insurance? Like, is it just not having insurance, or not knowing how to pick the policy,
Or not having flood insurance.
Yeah, like, and with even delve into like flood insurance too. So is even that important?
What we see in our industry, I think most people are just afraid to talk to their insurance. I mean, get an agent that you feel comfortable with and you want to talk to. Me and Brandy have all kind of conversations. We laugh, so I can really inform her. And she tells me some things. I'm like, Brandy, that's a risk that you take. We had some things that we were talking about before, and I was like, no, we need to get a policy on what you're doing right now. But if she never would have told me that, then it was a gap in her coverage. Right. So I think all my clients, I think you should be comfortable with your agent. Not afraid to have that conversation with them.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of people, which is great, you can get a lot of things done online, and that's great to do that. But we have insurance licenses for a reason, right? A lot of people think they can go on and just figure everything out on their own, and some things you can. But at the end of the day, talking with someone, even if it's just for a few minutes, to make sure that you understand all the coverages and what does this mean and what does that mean, can make a huge difference, But to answer one of your questions, you said, well, what are some of the things that people miss out on? Well, I think the biggest part there is home insurance. Car insurance is more of a commodity. Home insurance, you could be looking at 3 different quotes and you see 3 different prices, and you're probably just going to go with the lowest one because it'll look like all the coverages are the same. But there's so many ins and outs. There's so many, like, just a quick example. There could be ACV, which is actual cash value on the roof. It might say replacement cost on the policy, but actual cash value on the roof. So your roof gets ripped off. It costs $10,000 to get a new roof to replace it, but you have ACV on the roof. You didn't see that on the quote. It's on the policy.
ACV is actual cash value.
Right. Actual cash value.
Air conditioner.
Yeah, that's why I said let me throw that out, the actual cash value.
So it's depreciated. So then your roof is 10 years old. Your deductible's $2,500. It's $10,000 to get a new one, but now it's depreciated down to $2,500. So guess what you get? Zero.
Yep.
Ooh.
So, and it was only a $200 or $100 difference on your policy.
Open an insurance company.
Right. It's hard for you to know. Water damage coverage. There's just so many different things that you're not going to know unless you talk to an insurance agent.
I just had a call last night from a guy. His toilet overflowed, messed up. They took all the carpet out. And the guy's like, is it covered? I'm like, it depends. I make insurance simple. Either you got a named peril policy or all risk. Named peril only covers what they name in the policy. All risk covers everything except what they exclude. That person had a named peril policy.
That wasn't in there?
No, so that's not going to be covered. So it's about $20,000 of damage because I was talking to his contractor. And I said, well, let me.
Damn.
But he was bragging about his insurance. He had a high number, what they were going to pay for, but they won't pay. That's why it's good to have someone you talk to.
So what about flood insurance? In Houston, it floods every year.
Right. So people are getting better with flood now because of all the floods that we've had here in Houston. But one in an X flood zone, which is in a low risk flood zone, or what most people say is not a flood zone. But keep in mind that everywhere in Houston is a flood zone. You're just either in a low risk flood zone or a high risk.
My joke is, what's the name? What's city? What's the name of Houston? What they call it? We all nickname.
Bayou City.
It's the Bayou City, and because it's bayous everywhere.
Right. Okay. And it's gonna flood Bayou all the time too. So get you some flood insurance. But yeah, so either in the X zone or in a low risk flood zone or a high risk flood zone. 1 out of every 4 claims that comes in is in a low-risk flood zone, in an area where you were not required to get flood insurance whenever you bought your house, right? During Hurricane Harvey, 62% of the flood claims that came in were in low-risk flood zones, not in the areas that you would think, right? So it's really important that you get it, especially when you're in a low-risk flood zone, because it doesn't cost as much. The maximum it costs is $504 for the whole year for $250,000 of coverage, So it might sound like a lot, but at the end of the day, the average flood claim is $50,000. So it would take you 100 years of paying $500 a year to equal what the average flood claim is, right?
And just to throw another thing out there, what makes it a low risk is because how the federal government define flood means you have to have 2 properties there that have flooded within 100 years. If your subdivision only been around 25 years, it could have been a bayou before you got there, okay? And so what happened is they put them out there, they do some different things, they put a house out there, and nature comes back and take the land. But it was a low-risk flood zone because, once again, they define flood by if it had a flood, 2 properties got damaged within 100 years. Your subdivision is only 25 years old.
So what type of insurance do you guys sell? Like, we know auto, home, What else?
We both sell car, home, life,
disability, health,
business,
yes.
disability.
We do it all. Renters. I
Do
mean,
you need disability insurance?
I say yes because 1 out of 5 people can lose their lose their home over disability because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One of us can have something go wrong with us, and we're not expecting it because we all think we're healthy and gonna live forever. But no, you can lose it. And disability insurance actually is not that expensive. You can get a mortgage disability policy. You can get any kind of disability policy that can help supplement your bills. That's all you want to do. You want something to supplement while you're down.
Okay.
And most people have it at work, so they're not thinking about it too much. But sometimes there's only a certain percentage of your income that's actually covered. So you just want to check that out. 60% is the maximum amount of your income.
60.
Well, I appreciate this conversation. Like, it's been very informative. I've learned a lot more about insurance than when I just come and harass you. So, I mean, I feel...
It's because Mr. Markus is here.
Come on, Mr. Markus.
I don't know what they're going to be doing later on.
Y'all are gonna be out here in the
Listen,
street.
listen.
But before we go, we always have this segment of the show called Rest My Case. So basically what Rest My Case is, whatever like type of things that you want to just like want people to stop doing, you want it to end for 2020, you want it to like die and never come up, then we air it out on the show. Like for instance, my Rest My Case is, let's leave these GoFundMe pages alone and get life insurance. That's my Rest My Case. Taria, what's your rest of your case?
Oh, we always come to me. I would say to have an educated conversation about insurance. We spend money on everything else that we want to spend money on. I'm about to be controversial. If your nails actually went a little bit shorter every 2 weeks, you actually could afford insurance. Oh, I said it. So instead of spending $100, $120 on your nails, maybe spend about $50 and then go talk to Marcus, I'm not calling Mr. Marcus, or Freddie and get you some insurance.
Sam, what's your Rest My Case?
I think I want to piggyback off of what Taria said as far as us being a reactive culture instead of proactive. I think Mr. Marcus said it earlier about, when we have a death in the family, that's when we tend to not want to leave a legacy and we think that we're going to live forever. But I think that it's important that we look beyond and remember that the Bible speaks about leaving an inheritance for your children. And so part of doing that is with life insurance. My dad passed away like a year ago, and he did not have any life insurance. And so it didn't affect me one way or the other, but we want to make sure that we're leaving something that we can start to build some sort of wealth, some generational wealth. So like Sria said, stop going to the turkey leg hut every Sunday and, put down the bottomless mimosas and start getting you some life insurance.
Correct.
Freddie, do you have a Rest My Case?
Yeah, it's going to be ditto. I agree with everybody. Life insurance, it's the one product that I really get excited about. I paid a few death claims, and I've seen the power of what it can do to the family. I get more hugs on death claims than I do auto claims, okay? And so that is what I rest my case on. I tell everybody, get a policy and quit worrying about just getting in the ground. Get something to leave something for your family.
Right.
And at the end of the day, I tell everybody, you leave enough for your family, men, and when they're gone, they'll build a nice little statue for you when you go, okay, at the house.
Okay, Marcus, what's your Rest My Case?
My Rest My Case is still with life insurance, but I guess from this aspect is some people think, well, if I get life insurance, it's only for my people when I leave, right? But you can, if you get a permanent policy, you can actually build money that builds cash value tax-free. Now, I'm not a tax person, but the payout is tax-free while you're still alive, and you can use that for retirement. You can use it for college savings. So it's not just about leaving money for them, which it is all about, but then as well for that you can use while you're here as well.
Yep, and if you do that, it's community property. So if you get divorced, you have a little change when you leave.
Well, thank you guys for being on the show. This was really great and informative. Tell everybody where they can follow you, where they can contact you, like social media,
Give me your cell number.
Oh, yeah.
business number.
Oh, yeah. I'm A Noble Agent. I'm on Twitter, A Noble Agent. Instagram, A Noble Agent, Noble, Noble, Agent, Agent. Freddie L. Noble on Facebook. You can always follow me on those places.
And tell them again who you're with insurance company.
I'm with State Farm Insurance.
Okay, Mr. Marcus, where we following you at?
So you can follow me at Trust Tolson Insurance on Instagram and on Facebook as well. And so I'm an insurance agent. I've been an agent for 14 years, and we have over 30 companies that we can kind of shop through and just figure out which one is the best combination of coverage and price for you.
Cool. Well, hey guys, this your girl Brandy again, and you can follow me at Brand_Janae. Taria.
After you go pick up that insurance policy, you can follow me at Simply Being T on Instagram.
Sam, are we following you today?
Yeah, and after you pick up that insurance policy and we cash it in for value, we can go shopping. Follow me to the Galleria, y'all.
And as always, you can follow your favorite lawyers in Houston at No Further Questions on Facebook, No Further Q on Instagram, and NFQ Pod on Twitter. We're out.
Favorite lawyers in Houston, in the world.
I'm sorry. In
the universe.
My bad.
Let's
Yes.
get it together.
All right.